In Los Santos, ain't nothing safe. In Los Santos, ain't nothing free. Long time no see, back on my old routine. No time to slow the speed, just saw the local news. You know what, then it switched and I turned to beans. Switch at least once a scene. High key serving, LSN, talking about I done. Confessed I did it for fun. Then it switched and I switched to beans. Switch at least once a scene. High key serving, LSN, talking about I done. Confessed I did it for fun. In Los Santos, ain't nothing safe. In Los Santos, ain't nothing free. In Los Santos, price get you crave. In Los Santos, great bakery.
Tonight's interview are on the topic of an arrest made by the LSPD, which has been open to debate. We sat down with both sides of the arrest to let them tell their points and views on the situation.
How you doing, Officer Henry? Thank you for, meeting with us today to do this little interview about some questions we have about an arrest made, recently, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
remember
go on.
that, who was the arrest for again, everybody?
Madam B. Finnegan.
Yeah. So, quite of a bit of a dynamic time, from what I understand. Can you tell me from your point of view, what happened during that traffic stop?
Well, without getting into too much detail, man, I gotta keep some information confidential. As one may. I'll give y'all the hindsight of the situation in a general perspective, not relating to any particular individual.
Alrighty.
And they say my ass ain't PR trained, man. Shit, look at it. So
You're doing great.
In common experience, you might have an individual with speeding infractions on their criminal record. When somebody goes to commit too many speeding offenses, any general person, not specifically Mrs. Finnegan, when they are constantly committing speeding, let's just say mistakes in the lightest way, paired with an aggressive attitude and ignoring lawful commands, that gives you the judgment as an officer to say this person is not responsible to be driving on the road. They put my life, your life, everybody else's life at risk. Damn. So, following my judgment and a talk with some supervisors, I decided to put Miss Finnegan under my arrest and, confiscate her driver's license and send her on her way.
So what was the original reason for the traffic stop, officer?
She was speeding, mounting the sidewalk, and then she got really aggressive for disobeying lawful commands when we did pull her off. Eventually pulled her off.
Okay. What speed did you clock her at? Do you recall?
I can give you a speed, I can give you a general tone for the speed that she was going, man.
General tone. Okay, so you can't quite remember.
I can give you a general term, and it's called speeding.
Speed. All right, but you don't recall the exact mile per hour.
Oh, I recall it, but I cannot disclose it in a public city.
I see. So, how did the traffic stop go the day by time? Did you have to draw your weapons at all?
No, I didn't. I normally have my weapon on me because in specific place we ended up completing the traffic stop on. Mrs. Finnegan was a well-known gang area, so as an officer, I have to keep myself protected, as well as the not the suspects, the individuals I'm conducting the traffic stop on. What if somebody would run up on us and try something? I'd be responsible for their lives because I'd be the one stopping them right there. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So I had my gun out, and then we started getting surrounded by individuals, and
so you did draw your weapon.
Yes, of course. I mean, we were getting surrounded by individuals, and the two suspects had hit the radio after not complying with cops, not complying with our command. They hit the radio asking for help. As an officer, what route of approach do you take in that situation? It's the route, that you protect yourself and the officers around you. I asked for 78 additional units pulled up and helped me secure the area.
I see. So do you think your approach was the best possible approach to keep things calm, or do you think it made things...
You can't tame a bull when it's sea rag, Gunther. You can't tame a bull when it's sea rag. Man, I pulled her over. She was screaming, brother, screaming. What am
And
I meant to do?
as I understand, there may have been some allegations that the driver was also impaired. At what point
Oh
did what
no,
gave
no.
you
Then
that?
it was nothing but a standard routine check which you'd conduct on every individual who's driving recklessly. You question, is this individual under the influence right now? You question it. So, we asked for a breathalyzer. Madam Finnegan did not consent. We said,
And is that standard? You know, because as for earlier, sir, you said they were speeding. I didn't. What is the term reckless driving versus speeding? Is there a
reckless
difference?
driving means when you drive in a way that puts your life and other people around you in danger.
Okay. And you attest that you believe she was driving recklessly. You know, not just
Oh yeah, yeah.
speeding, but
Oh yeah, if you
I.
mount the sidewalk in any residential area, brother, damn, you putting everybody's life in danger. What if Mama Denise come walking out with the kids, Marquise and Jamal? They don't hit the street, and out of nowhere you get a car running them over. Then they stay life ended early. Ain't no NBA, ain't no MLB, ain't no NFL. It's gone. Damn.
I understand traffic stops can be very dynamic, and what steps did you take to make sure that the rights of the individual were respected? You know, like basically, let me elaborate a little bit. Say someone doesn't immediately follow orders. How does an officer like yourself decide if they're being
You
belligerent and
add.
dangerous, or if they're just confused and ignorant? You know.
Oh, there's a difference between confused, ignorant, and aggressive, brother Gunther. You a man of God. You must have put up with both sides of the world, the evil and the good. When you tell an individual, when you can tell an individual, it's not gonna comply, then they're not gonna comply.
Uh-huh. So, and some people, you know, may say that this could have just ended with a speeding ticket, you know, or possibly a warning, but
Oh, of course, yeah,
this
yeah.
ended in a full-on arrest.
Yeah, dear, correct.
What do you say to the people that would say that that was not necessary?
I'd say join the LSPD, go climb a rank above me, and tell me what to do. Cause you ain't gonna tell me how to do my job when you be saying your lazy ass to the casino, robbing stores and slanging dope.
Well, sir, I understand. You know, there's a lot of law-abiding citizens in Los Santos. It's not just
Yeah,
the
Mrs.
criminals
Finnegan
that
is
may
not one of
question.
them.
Well, I'm just talking about for the public at home right now. You know, so
Yeah.
so
I heard a from you, Mrs. Mays.
No, I was clearing my
Is
throat.
that a concern
Continue.
from you?
That is not a
Because
concern.
I have without going into specific detail that
That what?
Mrs. Finnegan, this is not her first run-in with the arrest house. She's been to
yeah.
Bolingbrook more than once, madam.
Had you had any prior personal experience with Mrs. Finnegan before this
No.
traffic stop?
Oh yes, yes, I did. She was a lovely lady. Met her down at the DOJ. Changed the
Gotcha.
name for her. She ain't had no worry. She had a clean record and said to see how times have changed.
Is it one other question? Is it standard procedure for LSPD officers to refer female citizens of the Republic as, quote, the shorties?
The shotties. Oh, that slang, brother. Shit, we got two shotties in this room right now. I roll up a foreign drive. I know Shotty Metal, and I know what it called the girls that be under Bay City, at past 12 a.m. You know what I'm talking about, Gunther. I'll see you doing that
Hey,
shit
you know,
first person.
hey, man, hey, let's not talk about me
Yeah,
driving that
yeah.
preacher car that
Hey,
night.
yo.
Hey, it's cool, man.
Anyway,
I believe Shotty's
anyway,
a compliment. If I say, hey, what's cool, Shotty?
is
I mean nothing
there,
but good intentions.
has there been any internal review or investigation of this incident within the department, or none whatsoever?
Nothing except my supervisors agreeing with me and saying send her ass to jail.
Gotcha. And you be open in any case, in any circumstance, if it may come about with further dialogue with the community about this.
Any question you got, ask me. I'll answer as much as I can.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have, more or less. Welcome back. Helmut Gunther here on the late night set of the Los Santos News Studio, following up with this story we've been talking to various folks about. B. Finnegan is sitting beside me. How you doing, B?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine, just fine. So, you're sitting down with me this evening to talk about the little incident you had with the LSPD recently. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do indeed.
Yeah. I believe, as far as I know, according to my notes here and the footage I saw, you were pulled over allegedly for speeding by an officer, and he allegedly suspected you of being drunk, and ended up in your arrest. Is that correct?
Yep, and they also his partner there came up to the vehicle and was sniffing and saying, "Oh, you smell that?" Like accusing me that I had drugs in the car when I didn't.
Interesting. All right, so just give me your line of events from your point of view. What happened during this traffic stop?
So it's kind of weird. So I went to go get my daughter from Pillbox Hospital, and we were gonna go back to mine and my son V's house, right down the street from the DMV, and there was a cop, in front of me, and I will admit I was speeding a little bit, and I slowed down. He was being nice at first. The cop was calling us shorties, and then my daughter just wanted to drive off, so we did, and the cop, I I don't know. He just started following us for no reason. I was stopping at red lights, doing everything, what the law says. So that's what I was doing, and I was getting nervous and anxious because he was just on my tail. I couldn't really hear what they were saying in the back, and I was just more worried about me getting pulled over. Um, I go after the light turns green and they're still following me. And as soon as I take that turn to the DMV there, they decided to pull me over. After waiting like 5 minutes of not saying anything about me speeding, they decided to pull me over. So I wanted to ask, and I said, before you tell me to turn off my engine, I'm just confused why you pulled me over. So instead of answering my question, he just decided to, repeat saying, turn off the engine and roll the window down. So that's when his partner there came out of the car, which by the way, they had their guns out too, all like hostile. And she kept on accusing me of having drugs. Her partner there was accusing me of being drunk. He tells me to step out of the car. He tells me to take 10 steps in front of him. I groove, so I walk funny, and he accused me of walking funny. Um, my daughter called for her brother, my son, on the radio and said, we're having a hard time. These cops they pulled us over and accusing obviously me of being drunk. And so he comes over, the two officers call for backup. I So I was gonna take a drug test, and
Well,
when
yeah.
the nice cop, went back to his vehicle to go get it, I went to go follow him, and the officer that pulled me over, he was following behind me and wouldn't get away from me to talk to this officer who was gonna drug test me to prove to these guys that I wasn't on anything. But he told me to put my hands up, and the guy with the red hair who was gonna drug test me never drug tested me. He took out his gun as well and watched me get handcuffed. So I was in the back of the police car. We're on our way to the police station. And the officer was, he read me my rights, whatever, and he told me to shut up because I was just telling him that, this is really messed up. Like, I don't understand why I'm going to jail if all I was doing was going 48 and a 40. And he was just doing all this extra stuff, so I was mad. I don't really. Um, he said that if I if I was to keep talking, whatever. He wasn't gonna give me a lawyer to I don't to defend me. So before he realized that there wasn't any lawyers in. We get to the police station. I get my driver's license revoked, and I get $1,500 for careless driving, and I don't remember what the other thing was. Not obeying the law, I think. And after all of that was done, they checked my gun, making sure that it was mine. It obviously was. All I wanted to do, all I kept saying to them was, I just wanted to go, like, let me go so I can do my time. And it bothered, I want to say his name is Henry. It bothered him, and he kept saying, or he got out his notepad and he said, I'm gonna find more charges to put on you. And I didn't know what to do in that situation. I was basically being harassed. And I was in a jail cell being harassed by 2 officers, and all I was trying to do was leave. And they wanted to put more charges on me after I was already charged for whatever I did wrong. So it got to the point where, you know, I flew out of city because I didn't know what to do. So I flew back in, and Sergeant Castle talked to me about it, and he had told me that to file a DOJ lawsuit on him. So that's what I'm doing, and I haven't heard anything back from the lawyers. I haven't gotten an email from them, and it's been quite a while, and I'm kind of getting worried about it because I don't have I don't know. I don't know how, like, the LSPD CCTV cameras work, and I don't have body cam of them harassing me when I was being in the jail cell. So I'm hoping that they still have that evidence, but yeah, that's what I'm just waiting for them to get back to me on that, and they haven't yet. Yep.
Okay, well, quite a...
Yeah, they also took my gun and my cell phone and my radio, and they never gave it back to me, and all of it was registered to me, and I wasn't being a threat with my gun or anything like that.
Did they revoke your
Yes, they took
concealed carry?
No, they didn't. They just took my driver's license away.
Okay, wow. Well, that was a doozy. But, quite a dynamic story there. You stated that he drew his weapon during the traffic stop, and I believe the officer, when we interviewed him, said he did as well. Did you feel that was necessary?
Not at all. I was complying, you know.
Yeah, according to the footage, you know, you immediately were asking him what the problem was before shutting your engine off, and I would say, and I think many viewers would say, you became kind of heated very quickly. Do you think your approach helped calm things down or make things more tense?
Well, I didn't want to... I wasn't trying to make things more intense. I was kind of mad and upset as why he waited 5 minutes after following me for 2 red lights to pull me over and be like, hey, you know, you're speeding a little bit, you know, or just give me like a citation about it. Like, I don't know why they had to, you know, make it a big situation than they did, because it was unnecessary for them to come up to me and sniff and then accuse me or just say something that's out of pocket, like, oh, I smell drugs. Like, you're automatically accusing me of something. Like, that's kind of messed up if it's just a traffic sign and I'm only getting pulled over for going 8 miles above the speed limit.
Were you speeding?
I was going 48 and a 40, yeah. I was trying to get home. My kid just came out of the hospital, you know, so.
Do you feel your rights were respected in
Absolutely not.
during this traffic stop?
Absolutely
Okay.
not. My feelings were hurt. I am traumatized of the next time somebody gets me pulled over, or if a cop comes and pulls me over. I am absolutely traumatized for my life. Absolutely. What they did was really messed up. If it was just a traffic stop, they should have never taken my license away. They should have never, you know, I should have gotten my gun back. I didn't use force aggressively. I used my voice and my words, and they didn't like that, which I get. It's understandable, but they know what they did was wrong too. For, you know, that there was no need for me to take, you know, uh, or to have them tell me to get out of the car and take 10 steps in front of him to make sure that I wasn't drunk. And then he accused me of walking funny when I was grooving. So that was, you know, kind of concerning and messed up too.
Yeah.
And the officer did tell me or ask me if I wanted to take a drug test, and I said yeah, to prove to them that I wasn't on drugs or nothing. And they didn't want to do that. They just arrested me carelessly. Didn't care.
I see.
So
do you feel that you were fully compliant in this traffic stop?
absolutely.
With the officer's orders?
I was stubborn, yeah. But I turned off my engine.
You were compliant.
Yes, I turned off my engine. I was trying to be respectful, but they were just saying some out of pocket stuff and just not just. I gotta say, you know, I've been here for, you know, a while, and yeah, I know how things work, and I gotta tell you, this was a unusual stop. Like, it was just a messed up thing.
Have you been pulled over by the LSPD before this incident?
Yes, I have.
Once or twice. How many times? Once or twice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so what would you say to the folks out there the public, when they they're hearing about this incident? What's the message that you want the public to take from this?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
What would you like the general public to learn from this incident? Or what message would you like to say to the general public about this incident?
I'm not too sure, honestly.
All right, so bottom line is they arrested you, they took your license, and you said they took your weapons. Did they revoke your weapons license?
Nope, they took the gun and never gave it back, though.
All right, so they confiscated your firearm, didn't return it. They took your license, and they put you in jail over a 48-mile-an-hour speeding ticket.
Yes, sir.
I see. Do you know if of any internal review, or let me rephrase this question, are you taking up any legal action or otherwise against the LSPD in regards to this incident?
I am. I have a lawsuit against those two officers, and I haven't heard anything back from nobody yet, so I'm hoping it's soon.
I see. All right, well, this concludes our interview. Ms. V, before we shut the cameras down and head on out, do you have anything last you want to say to the people out there watching at home?
Just stay safe out there. Don't let nobody walk all over you. That's all I'm gonna say, you know.
In Los Santos, ain't nothing safe. In Los Santos, ain't nothing free. Long time no see. Back on my old routine. No time to slow the speed. Just saw the local news. You know what? Then it switched and I turned to beans. Switch at least once a scene. High key serving LSN, talking about